Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to cut through the noise and get you exceptionally well informed. Today we're exploring a city with a really captivating nickname, the Pearl of Georgia, Batumi. But, it's more than just contrast. It feels like a living paradox. You've got ancient history, these centuries-old traditions, but they're not just museum pieces. They seem to be actively shaping this very modern city. It's this fascinating dance between its deep past and, its ambitious future. Our mission for this deep dive, to really unravel what makes Batumi tick, what makes it so unique. We've gone through historical accounts, travel guides, cultural research, quite a stack of sources. And we distilled the most important insights, the most surprising facts just for you. So from its ancient origins and its really remarkable religious mix to its modern buzz as a tourist spot and a UNESCO city of music. We'll guide you through the geography, the history, the traditions, and Batumi right now. Okay, let's jump right in.
It's really striking, isn't it, how all these different pieces don't just sit side by side, they actually weave together into something unique. To really get Batumi, I think we first need to understand its physical setting, its natural canvas, so to speak. It sits on the eastern coast of the Black Sea, right on this area called the Kakaber Lowland.
Kakaber Lowland.
Yeah, and this lowland, it has this unique crescent shape, stretches about, 7 kilometers, and it's incredibly low. We're talking just 2 to 3 meters above sea level.
Wow, 2 to 3 meters. That's incredibly close to the water.
Yeah.
That must mean some pretty intense weather, right? What's the climate like there?
It is intense, yeah. It's classified as humid subtropical. SIFA, if you know the Köppen system.
SIFA, right. Warm, wet summers, no real dry season.
Exactly. High temperatures pretty consistently. And the rainfall, well, it's impressive. Annually, it gets around 2,435 millimeters.
Whoa.
Yeah, just to give you an idea, November is usually the wettest, maybe 312 millimeters. May is the driest, but still gets over 100 millimeters.
So rain is a constant feature, then. What about snow?
Very rare, less than 12 days a year, typically. And the humidity, it just hangs in the air, usually between 70 and 80%. All that moisture really contributes to this feeling of pervasive lushness.
Okay, so warm, incredibly wet. I'm picturing a really green, almost tropical feel. Does that intense greenery shape the city itself?
Oh, absolutely. People often say the city is drowning in greenery and flowers. It's literally hugged by these picturesque mountains.
Hey.
And if you zoom out a bit, Batumi is kind of the gateway to the wider Adjara region's natural beauty. You've got national parks like Machakela, Kobuleti, Intirala, Tikri Reserve, the Ispani Marshes.
Right.
It's this whole network of protected areas. It's like an ecological lung for the Black Sea coast, which is pretty important given all the development.
That phrase, drowning in greenery, really paints a picture. Does that create challenges for building, or is it just part of Batumi's identity now?
I think it's very much part of its identity. But yeah, a city with these natural gifts must have a deep history too. Let's take that journey back in time.
Where do we start? The name itself sounds old.
It really does. Our sources show its roots are incredibly deep. Aristotle mentioned a place called Batis back in the 4th century BC.
Aristotle.
Yeah. And later, Pliny the Elder called it Bathis. That's Greek for deep, which makes sense, right? It's always had this amazing natural deep water port. Archaeology around the Tamar Fortress area shows it wasn't just some small settlement. It was a key cultural economic hub right from the earliest millennia BC. Its location was everything.
And that strategic value.
Oh.
I assume that made it a target throughout history.
Absolutely. It faced almost 300 years of Ottoman conquest, starting around 1547. That period led to the Batum Sanjak being established. That's like an Ottoman administrative district. And Islam spread significantly through Adjara then, often alongside the suppression of Orthodox Christian traditions, a really profound shift.
A huge change. When did that end?
The tide turned in 1878. The joint Russian-Georgian force liberated the city. And after that, for a short but really important time, from 1878 to 1886, Batumi became a Porto Franco, a free port.
Porto Franco, so like duty-free. What did that do for the city?
Exactly. It wasn't just a label. It sparked really rapid growth. It turned Batumi into a crucial hub, especially for oil transport. This got cemented even further in 1883 with the railway link to Baku. And then came the massive Baku-Batumi kerosene pipeline, 835 kilometers long, built between 1896 and 1906.
That pipeline sounds like a game changer.
Oh, it was huge. More than just engineering, it made Batumi a vital energy corridor. It totally reshaped its economy, its, geopolitical importance for decades.
But that kind of rapid industrial change, the energy hub status,
yeah,
it often brings tension, doesn't it? Was there social unrest too?
Absolutely. You hit the nail on the head. There was the famous Batumi workers' strike in 1902, and guess who led it?
Yeah.
a young Ivy Zugashvili, who we know better as Stalin.
No way, Stalin.
Yep. That whole era, the late 19th, early 20th century, it attracted a really diverse mix of people. Armenians, Russians, Georgians, Greeks, Turks. The 1897 census shows this clearly. All that influx plus industrialization made for a dynamic, but often volatile mix.
And then came the 20th century itself. Global chaos. I imagine that hit Batumi hard.
It really did. After the October Revolution, things got messy. The city was reoccupied by Ottoman forces, then British forces. A really key moment for Georgians, though, was March 1921. General Georgi Mazniashvili led Georgian forces in a fierce fight to regain control. It's seen as quite pivotal.
So Georgia secured it, though?
Pretty much. Shortly after, the Soviet-Turkish Treaty of 1921 officially secured Batumi for Georgia. But interestingly, it also granted Turkey transit rights through the port. Kind of a complex diplomatic balancing act.
Acknowledging shared interests, maybe. So how did Batumi fare through the Soviet period and then into independence?
Well, it was officially renamed Batumi in 1936. Then came the standard Soviet-era industrialization push. Fun fact, it had the only caffeine factory in the entire USSR, and they cleverly used waste from the local tea industry to make it.
Resourceful.
Yeah. And then since Georgia became independent, Batumi has seen just incredible growth. In 2012, its official territory expanded massively. It went from about 19 square kilometers to nearly 65.
Wow, quadrupled in size. That signals serious ambition.
Definitely shows its modern resurgence.
It's clear Batumi's story is one of constant transformation. But beyond the politics and economics, what about its soul? The culture, the traditions, the craftsmanship? How have those layers shaped the city we see today?
That's where it gets really fascinating. Batumi is this incredible religious mosaic. The majority are Orthodox Christian, yes, but there are large visible communities of Muslims, Armenian Apostolic Christians, Catholics, Jews, Yazidis. You can see it in the cityscape. The gorgeous Cathedral of Holy Mother of God from 1903, the Orta Mosque built in 1886, the Batumi Synagogue from 1904, which sadly was closed during Soviet times but thankfully restored and reopened in 98. It speaks volumes about pluralism.
That diversity is striking. But thinking back to the 300 years of Ottoman rule and the spread of Islam, how did that impact the older Christian traditions in the region? Did they just disappear in those communities?
This is probably one of the most remarkable things we found in the sources. No, they didn't entirely disappear. Some Christian customs actually survived, but in kind of modified forms within Adjurian Muslim communities.
Really? Like what?
Well, take frankincense. Its use in funeral rituals persisted. And not just, for the nice smell. It was seen as a way to ward off evil spirits, to purify the deceased, really ancient beliefs carrying through. There's this lovely anecdote from an 80-year-old local, Ten Salshagalids. She remembers her grandmother using frankincense smoke, censing rooms, even brides to protect against the evil eye. That's a pre-Islamic idea, right?